Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, if you're at all familiar with the business world, you've probably heard of Six Sigma.
Oh, yeah.
It's been around for decades, and countless companies have used it to streamline their processes and, just boost efficiency all around.
Right.
And today we're going to be exploring how AI, artificial intelligence, is adding this whole new dimension
Yeah.
to this already really powerful methodology.
It's fascinating
Yeah.
how it's all developing.
Yeah.
Six Sigma's always been about minimizing defects and, just that operational excellence.
Right.
But with AI in the picture, we're seeing a pretty big shift in how these goals are pursued.
Right. We've all heard about AI and how it can analyze these massive amounts of data.
Mm-hmm.
But how does that actually translate to, like on-the-ground process improvement? It seems like magic almost.
Well, the magic is all in the way that AI interacts with the core principles of Six Sigma.
Okay.
Specifically, the DMAIC cycle,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
define, measure, analyze, improve, control.
Okay.
So imagine you're running a complex manufacturing process.
Okay.
And you're trying to figure out why you keep getting a certain defect.
Yeah.
But all the data you have is just everywhere.
Okay.
And it's overwhelming.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a total nightmare.
Absolutely. And this is where AI comes in.
Okay.
Instead of weeks of going through spreadsheets manually, AI algorithms can just analyze all that data in a fraction of the time.
Wow.
And it can identify those hidden correlations and patterns that humans might just completely miss.
So it's like having this superpower detective on your team.
Absolutely.
But instead of solving crimes, it's solving these process bottlenecks.
Exactly. And the results can be pretty remarkable.
Okay.
There's a case study of a semiconductor manufacturer
Okay.
who was struggling with low yield rates.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in an AI-powered system to analyze the data from their production line.
Right.
And they were able to find this subtle temperature fluctuation in one of the machines
Oh, wow.
that was causing the defect.
Interesting.
And just by adjusting that temperature,
Right.
they saw a 10% improvement in yield right away,
Wow.
which, that translated into millions of dollars in savings.
Wow, that's a huge jump. So it's not just identifying the problem,
Right.
but AI is actually helping guide you towards a solution.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much time and money companies could save by just implementing these AI tools into their processes.
Yeah. It's a total game changer.
Right.
And what's even more impressive is that AI isn't just looking at past data.
Right.
It can predict future outcomes.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds a little too good to be true.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, AI is really good at recognizing patterns in data.
Okay.
So by feeding it historical data,
Right.
it learns how those different variables all interact with each other.
Uh-huh.
And then it uses that knowledge to predict what could happen in the future.
So like an example of that would be like
Yeah.
a logistics company
Uh-huh.
could use AI to predict, potential delays
Yeah.
in their supply chain
Absolutely.
based on things like weather patterns
Uh-huh.
or traffic conditions
Yeah.
or even geopolitical events.
That's right.
So then they could, preemptively adjust their routes or their schedules to minimize disruptions and ensure those deliveries get there on time.
Right.
That would save a lot of headaches
Uh-huh.
and potentially a lot of money.
Exactly.
Wow.
And these AI predictions aren't just about preventing problems.
Right.
They can also help optimize processes.
Okay.
So let's say a food processing plant uses AI to monitor things like temperature, humidity, and other variables in their production environment.
Right.
The system could actually adjust these variables in real time
Wow.
to make sure that the conditions are perfect for food preservation,
Right.
leading to a big reduction in waste
Uh-huh.
and better product quality.
Yeah, it seems like AI is almost like having a sixth sense for your processes.
Yeah.
Constantly adapting and improving. It's
Right,
like,
yeah.
self-driving cars that constantly adjust their course based on traffic data. But in this case, it's your business processes that are being optimized.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And just like self-driving cars, the level of human involvement in these AI-powered systems
Mm-hmm.
can really vary.
Yeah.
In some cases, AI might act as a co-pilot,
Okay.
providing recommendations and insights to human decision makers.
So instead of taking over completely,
Right.
it's more like having an AI sidekick
Yeah.
offering suggestions
Yeah.
and helping you make the best possible choices.
Right.
But what about those situations where a company maybe doesn't have a full team of Six Sigma experts?
Right.
Could AI step up and take on a more leading role?
That's a really interesting question,
Yeah.
and one that leads us to some pretty futuristic possibility.
Yeah, this is where it gets really exciting. Let's dive into that after a quick break.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So before the break, we were talking about how AI can act as that co-pilot,
Right.
for Six Sigma professionals. But what if AI could, take on even more?
Okay.
What if it could lead these entire Six Sigma projects?
Now, that's a really fascinating idea.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like AI would become the project manager
Uh-huh.
for process improvement.
Well-
Is that even possible?
It's definitely possible.
Wow.
I mean, we're already seeing AI systems that can analyze data
Okay.
and then identify areas for improvement
Right.
and even recommend solutions,
Wow.
all with very little human intervention.
So instead of replacing human expertise, AI would be freeing up those Six Sigma black belts to focus on the more, strategic aspects of the project.
Exactly. It's all about using the strengths of both AI and human intelligence.
Okay.
So imagine a company that wants to streamline its customer service process.
Okay.
An AI system could analyze data from customer interactions,
Uh-huh.
things like call logs,
Right.
email transcripts,
Okay.
even social media feedback.
Wow.
And based on all that, it could identify bottlenecks,
Up.
common customer complaints,
Okay.
and even suggest process changes to improve customer satisfaction.
So it's like having a super efficient consultant,
Oh, yeah.
but one that works at the speed of light.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And what's even more intriguing is that AI can go beyond just analyzing existing data.
Okay.
It can also run simulations to test how effective different process changes would be
Oh, wow.
before they're implemented in the real world.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So instead of risking disruptions to their actual operations, companies could basically test, drive solutions in a virtual environment.
Exactly. Imagine a hospital wants to optimize its patient flow in the ER.
Okay.
AI could create a virtual simulation of the ER,
Wow.
complete with patient arrivals,
Right.
staff availability,
Right.
treatment protocols,
Yeah.
and they could experiment with different staffing models,
Right.
triage procedures,
Oh.
even the physical layout of the ER,
Wow.
to see how those changes impact wait times and efficiency.
So they could basically fine-tune their processes
Right.
in this virtual world
Yeah.
before making any changes in the real world,
Uh-huh.
minimizing any potential negative impacts
Exactly.
from patient care.
Right.
Right.
That's amazing.
And these simulations can get really sophisticated,
Okay.
taking into account so many different variables
Oh.
and providing a level of insight that you just couldn't get with traditional methods.
That's incredible. I mean, it really does seem like we're at this turning point
Yeah.
in how Six Sigma is actually implemented.
Uh-huh.
But, I have to ask, is there a risk of becoming too reliant on AI?
Oh, that's a great point.
Could we lose sight of the human element
Right.
of process improvement?
That's an important point. AI is a very powerful tool,
Yeah.
but it's important to remember that it should help human capabilities,
Right.
not completely replace them.
Right.
Human expertise is still essential for defining the scope of the project,
Uh-huh.
setting goals.
Making sure that AI is aligned with the organization's strategy.
So it's about finding that balance
Right.
between automation and human oversight.
Exactly.
And that's where organizations like the Management and Strategy Institute or MSI come in, right?
Absolutely. MSI is at the forefront of this,
Okay.
incorporating AI into its Six Sigma training programs.
So MSI graduates aren't just learning the traditional Six Sigma methods.
Right.
They're gaining expertise to use AI
Yeah.
for process improvement.
Exactly. They understand how to work with these AI systems,
Right.
how to interpret the data they provide,
Uh-huh.
and make good decisions based on those insights.
So it sounds like they're being prepared for the future of Six Sigma,
Right.
which is becoming more and more connected to AI.
It's a powerful combination.
Right. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's take a minute to recap what we've talked about.
Okay.
We started by exploring how AI can supercharge the analysis phase of Six Sigma, helping companies find problems and solutions more efficiently. Then we talked about the predictive capabilities of AI,
Right.
allowing businesses to anticipate and avoid potential problems and proactively optimize those processes. And finally, we explored the possibility of AI actually leading Six Sigma projects,
Yeah.
running simulations,
Right.
and working with human experts to achieve these amazing levels of efficiency and improvement.
It's a pretty exciting time to be involved in process improvement, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. But we're not done yet. We still have more to explore in this deep dive into AI-powered Six Sigma.
Okay.
So stick with us. We'll be right back to wrap things up. We're back, and ready to wrap up this deep dive into AI-powered Six Sigma.
It's been pretty amazing, hasn't it?
It really has. We've covered so much, from AI's ability to analyze massive amounts of data and uncover those hidden patterns, to its potential to predict future outcomes and even lead entire Six Sigma projects.
Wild.
It really is. You know, when you lay it all out like that, it sounds like science fiction.
I know.
But this technology is already here.
Yeah, and making a huge impact in the business world.
Oh, absolutely. Companies are starting to realize that AI isn't just a buzzword.
Right.
It's like a total game changer.
Yeah.
And those who get on board early are going to have a real advantage.
For sure, but it's not just about staying ahead of the curve.
Right.
It's about reaching a whole new level of efficiency and problem solving and innovation. You know, it's like we've given Six Sigma this turbo boost.
I love that analogy. AI is adding this whole new dimension to what's already an amazing methodology.
Right.
It's making Six Sigma faster and more precise and able to handle even more complex challenges.
Yeah, and for our listeners who might be thinking, this is all great, but how does this apply to me?
Right.
I think the main takeaway is this. AI isn't some future concept.
Yeah.
It's here now.
Yeah.
And it's changing how we work and solve problems.
Yeah.
And no matter what industry you're in or what your role is, understanding how AI can improve processes is so valuable.
Couldn't agree more, whether you're in healthcare or finance or manufacturing.
Yeah.
Even a small business.
Right.
The things we talked about today can be used to make your processes more efficient, make your decisions based on data, and your outcomes more successful.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with something to think about.
Right.
How could you use AI to improve processes in your own work or even your life?
Yeah.
What inefficiencies could you get rid of?
Right.
What goals could you achieve more easily?
It's exciting to think about.
It is. Don't be afraid to think big and imagine what's possible.
Yeah.
Because the future of process improvement is here.
It is.
And it's powered by AI.
It's a really exciting time to be alive, and I can't wait to see what we can do with this technology.
I agree. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI-powered Six Sigma.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.